Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for having me out here. I am Captain Zachary Taylor. Thank you. And I help run recruiting station Ohio for the Marine Corps. So those Marines that you see out front, those are guys who work in the local area, help recruit young men and women to serve in the military. And I help oversee the whole state, so Youngstown, Toledo, all over the place. Thank you for taking the time here today to support this very important cause, and it is an honor to stand before you today to discuss a topic that lies at the very fabric of our nation, the United States military, and veteran suicide awareness. The men and women who serve in our armed forces represent the finest qualities of courage, commitment, and an unwavering dedication to the principles of freedom and democracy. Their sacrifices ensure our safety, protect our way of life, and uphold the values that define who we are as a nation. And today I want to explore why our military is so vital, not just to our security, but to the very fabric of our society. The role of the military in national security, first and foremost, and the primary role of the military is to safeguard our nation's security. In an increasingly complex and volatile world, the threats to our safety can arise from the various sources, be they state actors, terrorist organizations, or other non-state entities. Our military serves as a first line of defense against these threats, and through their vigilance and preparedness, they deter potential aggressors and ensure that the United States remains secure and sovereign for our nation. The military's presence around the world through bases and deployments also plays a critical role in maintaining global stability, and by working with allies providing humanitarian assistance and participating in peacekeeping missions, our military helps to prevent conflicts and promote peace in regions where instability could have far-reaching consequences. The military is a pillar of freedom beyond national security. The military embodies the principles of freedom and democracy that are foundational to the United States. Our service members take an oath to defend the Constitution, a document that enshrines the rights and liberties that we all hold so dear. Their commitment to this oath is not just a promise to defend our nation from external threats, but also a pledge to uphold the values of justice, equality, and freedom here at home. Throughout our history, the military has played a crucial role in ensuring that these values are preserved, and often at a great personal cost. From the Revolutionary War, where our forefathers fought for independence, to the Civil War, where soldiers fought to end slavery, the global conflicts of the 20th century, where American troops stood against the tyranny of oppression, and the military has been the guardians of our freedom. While we often focus on the strategic and economic importance of the military, it is essential that we remember the human element. The members of our armed forces are ordinary men and women like you and me, who have made extraordinary commitments, and they leave behind their families, put their lives on hold, and face dangers that most of us can scarcely imagine, all in service to their country. The sacrifices made by these service members and their families are profound, whether it be long separations from loved ones, the physical and mental toll of service, or paying the ultimate sacrifice of life itself. These sacrifices are made willingly out of a deep sense of duty and a love for our country. It is our responsibility to honor and support those who serve, recognizing that their contributions go far beyond the time they spend in uniform, and the importance of supporting our military, given the critical role the military plays in our nation's security and well-being. It is vital that we, as a society, do everything we can to support our troops. This means ensuring that they have resources they need to succeed in their missions, from state-of-the-art equipment to comprehensive training and support services. And equally important is our commitment to the well-being of our service members and veterans via access to quality health care, mental health services, education, and employment opportunities that are essential to ensure that those who serve our country can thrive during and after their time in the military. But we cannot forget about the military families standing next to our service members as they too bear the burdens of service and sacrifice. With all that being said, we cannot forget the mental health and the well-being of our military personnel and veterans, particularly the heartbreaking issue of suicide. The men and women who serve in our country in uniform do so with the understanding that they may be called upon to make the ultimate sacrifice, and yet, all too often, it is not the battlefield that claims their lives, but the struggles they face upon returning home. And today, we're going to look into the issue and some of the contributing factors. To give you guys to grasp the gravity of the situation, let's first look at some sobering statistics. According to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, an average of 22 veterans die by suicide every day. For active duty members, the suicide rate has also been rising, with the Pentagon reporting that in recent years, more service members have died by suicide than in combat. These numbers are not just statistics, they represent real people, sons, daughters, husbands, friends, wives, and colleagues who have reached a point where they feel there is no other way out. At my first duty station alone in North Carolina, I was only stationed there for 2 years, and we were struck with this devastating impacts of having 3 active duty service members taking their own lives in that short 2-year period. At my next duty station, as I was standing offshore of the day, 2 o'clock in the morning, I received a sobering phone call that a husband, a father, too overcome with the stressors of life and the military, decided to take his own life. And I saw firsthand the impacts that a single service member taking their life can have on a unit, a family, and a community. The reasons behind the military and veteran suicides are complex and multifaceted, and for active duty service members, the pressures of military life can be immense. The physical and emotional demands of training, deployments, and high-stress environment can take a significant toll. And for many, the transition from military to civilian life is particularly challenging. Veterans often face a loss of identity, purpose, and camaraderie that they found in the military, and additionally, they may experience difficulties in finding employment, housing, and accessing adequate health care. Another significant factor that often contributes to this is post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injuries, and other mental health conditions that are prevalent among our military veterans. And these conditions, often exacerbated by the lack of timely and effective treatment, can lead to feelings of isolation, hopelessness, and despair. Unfortunately, the stigma often associated with seeking mental health care, particularly in the military, prevents many from getting the help that they truly need. This issue is so important. First and foremost, it is our moral imperative. These men and women have served our country, putting their lives on the line to protect our freedoms and a way of life. It is our duty as a society to ensure that they are taken care of when they return home, and the loss of even one life to suicide is a tragedy. And the loss of 1,000 is a crisis that demands our immediate attention. Furthermore, the impact of the military and veteran suicides extends beyond the individuals themselves. Families are torn apart, communities grieve, and the very fabric of our society is weakened when those who have served are lost in this way. The economic costs are also significant, with billions of dollars spent annually on healthcare, disability, and other services related to suicide prevention and mental health care for veterans. The first step in ensuring that mental health care is accessible, timely, and effective, the VA has made massive steps forward in recent years, but we need to continue to strive to reduce wait times, increase the availability of mental health professionals, and provide care that is tailored to these unique needs of veterans. We must work to change the culture within the military and in society at large to reduce the stigma associated with seeking mental health care. Service members and veterans need to know that asking for help is a sign of strength and not a sign of weakness. Programs that help service members transition from military to civilian life is crucial. This includes job training, education, and support for housing and health care. Ensuring that veterans can find meaningful employment and a sense of purpose in their post-military lives can go a long way in preventing suicide. And sometimes the best support from those who have walked in the same shoes, peer support programs that connect us with others. With all that being said, sometimes the best thing you can do is simply pick up the phone, whether you're a service member or veteran struggling with mental illness or a friend of one. Picking up the phone can make a difference. Maybe you're going through some issues and you need to talk to another person about it. And sometimes you may feel the random urge to call your rack mate for boot camp, and you may have just saved their life. The importance of our military cannot be overstated, and it is the backbone of our national security, the protection of our freedoms, a driver of economic and technological progress, and a source of immense pride for our nation. But most importantly, it is made up of individuals who embody the very best of what it means to be American. In closing, the issue of military and veteran suicide is one that affects us all, and is a stark reminder that the cost of war extends far beyond the battlefield, and the scars of service do not disappear when the uniform is removed. Addressing this issue is not only about saving lives, but also about honoring the service members and sacrifice of those who have given so much for our country, and we must act with urgency and compassion, ensuring that no service member or veteran ever feels that they are alone and that their only option is to take their own life. Semper Fidelis, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for this opportunity.